Good day, everyone. I am Marjorie Tuyugan and I am here to present the Making Informed Decision. My objective in this video is that you will be able to understand and apply the four ethical theories on moral issues involving the self, society, and the environment. But in this video, I will only be focusing on the individual self. So, in the realm of the self, one has to pay attention not just on how one deals with oneself, but also on how one interacts with other individuals in personal relations. One may respond to the demand for one ethically responsible care for oneself by making full use of the four radical frameworks. So these four radical theories is the utilitarianism, natural law, deontology, virtue ethics. So first is the Mill's utilitarianism. So it is the theory of morality which advocates action that foster happiness or pleasure and opposes action that causes unhappiness or harm, period. When directed toward making social, economic, or political decisions, a utilitarian philosophy would it for the betterment of society as a whole. Individual self-interest or the egoism. When individuals deciding what to do for themselves alone, they considered only their own ability. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that determines right from wrong by focusing on outcomes. It is a form of consequentialism. It holds that the most ethical choice is the one that will produce the greatest good for the greatest number. It is the only framework that can be used to justify military force or a war. For example of utilitarianism is that if you're choosing one outfit you will wear for yourself, utilitarians' views is that you should choose the outfit that will give you most pleasure. Next is the Aquinas natural law. It is a theory in ethics and philosophy that says that the human being possesses intrinsic values that govern our reasoning and behavior. Next is maintains that these rules of right and wrong are inherent in people and are not created by society or court judges. Any action, therefore, that substance and cultivate one's biological or physical existence is to be determined good, while all actions that lead to the destruction one's existence to be called bad. So example of these theories is that when you choose to study and it helps to improve yourself, then it is good. But if you choose not to study, then it will affect your performance in school, and with that you are being called bad. Next is Kant's deontology. Deontology is from the Greek word deon, which means duty, and logo, which also means science. It uses rules to distinguish right from wrong. Modern deontological ethics was introduced by the great philosopher Immanuel Kant. Unlike consequentialism, deontology does not weigh the costs and benefits of the situation to avoid subjectivity because you just have to follow some rules. One action is considered morally good based on the characteristic of the action and not the outcome of the actions. This ethics also holds that some acts are morally obligatory no matter what the consequences is. So example of this theory is that when you really have no money and you have something to buy or something that you need, you know that stealing is bad, but you don't have no choice but to steal in order to have that money to buy these things. Next is Aristotle's virtue ethics. Virtue ethics are normative ethical theories that emphasizes virtue of mind, character, and sense of honesty. Virtue ethics mainly deals with the honesty and morality of a person. It states that practicing good habits make a moral and virtuous people. It guides a person without specific rules for resolving ethical complexity. The purpose of a man is to achieve eudaimonia, which is state serene and permanent happiness rather than a moment of area of the sense. In this way, our action will be good or bad depending on the ultimate goal. Last is it performs an actions. This option will be good if it gives him or her happiness. So for example, living healthily is a good action because it provides us with good health, which in the long run give us happiness. So the conclusion. People's preferences are wide where their taste for trends, cultures, practices, clothing, and norms knowing they have a variety of demographic identities like age, gender, genes, socioeconomic class, educational attainment, and more. Best that while we have our own definition, we take things assertively with the right judgment and recognize everybody else sentiment concerning such arguments, believing that there's always a great effect in mankind's relation when we try to respect and give everybody's chance to participate in the exchange of information. It is having a good attitude when having a good bond with them. Ultimately, theories are things that are being proposed to what the authors observing on their time living here on earth. That's all. Thank you.